So this is the recap for live stream 340. And it's been a recap I've been trying to avoid because reset the account on Friday the 1st of August. We had the non-farm payrolls, a few other bits of news, I believe CPI as well, not CPI, PMIs. And it just didn't work out. It didn't work out, and it was the same mistakes as from Thursday. So I'll just get into it here. I won't go through all the trades, but it's been the story of my trading quite recently. So most of the impact came on, I suppose we could start on gold. So let's have a look at gold first. And we can go to the regular trading hours. That's going to make it a lot easier to implement. So we had a gap up on gold off the NFP news. Now the only thing is gold then went into this consolidation, but went long here it seems, then got out, went short, got out of that for a loss. I think I then switched long, took profits, went short, took profit through this consolidation here. Now with the take profit here, the goal was to go for a trade further to the upside, but I looked at the time of day, saw that we're coming in towards a close, so decided to close the position. Of course, market turned around a few times before eventually going into target, to my frustration, but I was already in the hole at that point. Now this is what happened. So we had the non-farm payrolls. Markets were still following the bearishness, following the FOMC, more selling through Europe here on ES. Came into the market, looked at these lows, higher, had this high here, this higher low, went long, took profits, went long again. I think I took profits there. Went long again, looking for prices to pull back to these previous highs and then go long up towards this 306. Didn't happen. Came back out short, went long again, and prices turned around, took a loss through there. Think through here. Might have taken a short and took profits there. Went long, took a loss out of frustration. This is where the problem was. So we had this low, which was the regular trade now is low, which was a low of day. Had a default target to go short, and the target would have been just right there around the 43s. Decided I wanted to recover all the losses that I was in, so went short. Prices would have hit that default target. Decided to be greedy, wanted more. Prices came down. Got this signal here, didn't get out. Eventually held it to stop and took a fairly big loss right there. And it was the same scenario over on our friends at NQ. So we had lows, putting these highs. Unlike ES, we didn't have as much bullishness in the market. Marked out the highs, thinking I could get a move back and a continuation. So we had the highs there. Previously had a long all the way into the highs that took profits. And you can see here, took a series of trades, just didn't work out. Seems like it took a long there. No, got out of that one there. So had a short, hit to take profit. Went long here. And the reason I went long here was because I thought about a trade I lost earlier in the week where I decided to go short. Now the thing is, my interpretation was entirely incorrect, because when I took the short, thinking the market was when I took the shorts earlier in the week, the market was actually through its lower day and it was making new lows on the day. New regular trade now with lows. Today, well, this was on Friday, did not do that. Took the reverse long well above the regular trade now as lows. Then I had to see prices continue to the downside. Eventually came out of that long trade for a loss. Then went short. The low of day similar to ES, was right there. The default on the short would have been right here to take profits around the 86.50. Prices got in, but instead of taking profits, I decided to add to the position. Prices then turned around, gave these signals, held the position, held the position, held the position. Eventually got taken out for a loss, then went long out of frustration and FOMO, chasing the market. Went long, prices then turned around, took it off for a loss. Then through here I was taking a series of longs and shorts out of frustration as the market chopped along, further exacerbating the loss in the account. So we'll have a look at the account, and the account needs to be reset. So I'll reset it on Friday, it needs to be reset again. You can see there, pretty big loss. Pretty much lost the account from where it reset to, because I reset it to 600. Pretty much lost the account. Here are the smaller losses. Had a few small wins in there, but these are the big losses here. So we've got this big loss over on ES at 73, huge loss over on NQ sitting at 246. Small gains, certainly not offsetting it. A bigger loss there on NQ 140, bigger loss on ES around the 70. So it's taking very big losses and very mediocre gains. Let's see, a gain there of 42 is not really much. 97, 85, 102. But at one point, I was actually up on the day. So we can see here, after these series of winners, so we didn't start the day well. I suppose we can go all the way down to low. Started the day in a bit of a hole first. Got back to break even. Then we can see here, had a bigger loss somewhere along the line. No, it did not. So had a gain there, a bigger loss right there, taking us down to 528. A bigger loss there, taking us 137. Minus 137 there. And then it has a series of winning trades, which managed to grow the account to 653. Wanted to see a bigger day, continue to trade, and that's when we had a series of very big losses there through the, what was at the point the regular trade hour low of day. Rather than take profits, continued to look for that bigger move. Didn't happen, drew down and lost the account. I'll have a look over at the trade performance. And over on the trade performance here, we can see 24 trades is non-usual for me. The accuracy is down to 42%. That's not great. 10 winners, 14 losers. The average win being 42, but the average loss is 67, so it doesn't work. We can clearly see there's been a bit of volatility in the market in the size of the average win and the size of the average loss. We can also see that the majority of our losses came on NQ, most volatile of all the instruments. Lost 458 there. 5 wins, 8 losses. Average win being 38, but the average loss being 81. So more than twice the size. Over on ES, not much better. Average win being 43, average loss being 64. Not quite as bad. Well, that's interesting. I was actually positive on gold. So we can see here on gold overall, I was positive at 69,500 with a 50% win rate. And the average win being 51,750 and the average loss being 17,500. So the metrics on gold certainly favorable, but these on ES and NQ are not. It seems to be quite interesting on days where I have losing days or big losing days. I seem to do okay on gold, so maybe a market condition thing. Now going forward, I'm gonna have to tighten up the stops a fair bit, so I can't be using the current stops I am using. So we'll be probably going to be moving my stops to about half the size they currently are. And I'll try to use these metrics as potential targets. I can't use these average losses because these average losses here, they are pretty big. And I'm not sure if the market's going to give that level of volatility all the time. So if I was to use this as the default targets for trades, there's going to be issues of prices coming up towards target, then turning around, going up towards the target, turning around, and then eventually stopping me out. So we'll have that sort of issue if I was to use these default levels as targets. So instead, I'll use the bigger averages on my trades from over the past couple of weeks, and that should bring the average to, let's see where the average is. I've just added this data. So the average is around about that 20 to 26 mark across all instruments. With ES and gold, we're looking at around about that 21, 22 mark. And over on NQ, we're looking at around that 27 mark for the averages. But that's it for now. So we'll have to reset the account. But thanks for watching. Good luck trading. Have a great day.